Hi, so this video will provide you with my thoughts and reflection on week 4 assignments, assigned reading, and videos um, based on mindfulness and acceptance and working with college students. And so for me, something that I mentioned in the video response was the concept of what you capitalize on will increase. And the concept for me actually really was actually introduced to me actually through a sermon through my Pastor Stephen Furtick, and through a series that he did called Work Your Window. And so what I have done is looking closely at mindfulness and acceptance and what that looks like for our students, and using some of my own transparency, as well as allowing them to discuss and talk about things that they have concerns with, and how much they focus on it, and how that focus causes them to either be very mindful in where they are in the present, or serves as a distraction, and how they can improve on those things. And so a few things that really stuck out for me, and please excuse me as I glance down at a few of my notes, and regarding mindfulness and the importance of it and why it's needed now. A few points that came up talked about technology. And so technology definitely connects and disconnects people. I definitely agree with that. And for example, just being very transparent and honest, there's plenty of times where I could be in the middle of doing a very important project for work, or maybe should be following up on an email or a phone call, and could easily get distracted by social media. And if the same is for me as a working student affairs professional, very easily, of course, is the same for our students. We know social media has many benefits in connecting students and building community, but also can serve as a disadvantage because instead of properly communicating and expressing themselves in a positive manner, students very easily can determine their self-worth based on likes and shares and views, which may not always play out in a positive way. And so that's one of the pros and cons of technology that our students deal with today, that quite frankly 10 years ago we didn't have to worry about as much. And going back to spirituality and faith and things of that sort, students today are discovering themselves, trying to find out who they are in the absence of walking in the shadows of their parents and their family. And so with that also comes concerns of identity, questioning things, whether it's family tradition, whether it's their religion, whether it's their spirituality, all of those things come into play. And so depending on what that looks like for them, can cause additional stress and stressors for them. And so having those intentional sit-down conversations with our students about all of those things, and where they are, where they maybe thought they would be, and where they would like to be. And so looking at mindfulness, acceptance, various helping theory techniques, figuring out what's best. No student is alike. And so I think it's important that as a helping professional, we know ourselves, and things that we believe in or that we use as practice, and use it as a tool to better help our students, knowing that we may have to look ourselves in the mirror, so to speak, or adjust based on the different types of students that we work with every day. And so one of the things that I have found very beneficial through my experience in student affairs is programming, how much of an impact that can have. I think a lot of times, if your primary job is not programming, you may not see the value in that. But for me, looking at it from a holistic development and wellness approach. So not only wellness in the sense of physical, but also spiritual and emotional health has always played out in favor of the student, and also served a benefit for me. I'm very passionate about what I do, and so when looking at programming and hosting programs through my office or collaborative partners such as Housing Residence Life, the Counseling Center, maybe even athletics, the health center, partnering with those different components on campus and creating programs that are attractive to students that are not necessarily just fun, but also educational and promoting overall wellness and health has definitely served as a benefit. And so looking at the different techniques and the importance of mindfulness in today's student affairs realm and how it's different over the years has definitely been a plus and been a benefit, not only my practice with students, but also as a professional as well. I believe in lifelong learning. And so though the concept of mindfulness has not always been around, it has grown, and the growth and impact it's had has grown tremendously in regards of in student affairs and working with students. I hope you've enjoyed my reflection. I encourage you to continue to tap into those things as a professional on what works, but also don't be afraid to adjust and be flexible in your approach as you work with different types of students. I think that's just as important. Thank you.